Let's see. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Poison Pen Bookstore. My name's Patrick, and welcome to everybody tuning in online. It's always exciting to have a debut thriller author, anyway. She's written some other stuff, but the author of The Cheerleader, Marina Evans. Let's give her a nice, warm welcome. Yeah. And our dear friend, Olivia Fierro, has come in to talk to Marina today. So thanks so much, Olivia. I'll turn it over to you.
Let's see, is this thing on? I love to say that. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and good evening to anybody who's joining us from home. I am so excited because once a cheerleader at any level, not a professional, of course, couldn't make it that far, but always a cheerleader at heart, so this is thrilling. Yay, everybody. Woo! So this was so exciting, and I am also always a cheerleader at heart. Also a procrastinator. So I only finished this last night.
Oh, did you?
And this is just the way I roll. And for me, it's more fun because then it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah, that's good.
It's fresh, and so I love it because then I'm living it, and we can talk about it and not give any spoilers away, of course, because we're just wanting to share the enthusiasm in this big, gigantic adventure. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What an exciting opportunity for us to celebrate this major event in your life. So first of all, begin at the beginning. Tell us all about your background. You were a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. That is wild.
Yes. It's the best experience of my life, honestly. I went to school in Dallas for college, and I had a dance background. And a girl got in the elevator in my dormitory, and she was wearing the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders warm-up suit. And I asked her, when are the auditions? She said, they're next week. You should try out. So I didn't tell anybody in case I didn't make it. And I made it to training camp and then all the way through. So this was in the 80s. So, yeah, it was, I think it's changed, but it's also the same. It was the same experience. Yeah.
I mean, I had gotten completely sucked in recently to the Netflix documentary series. So I watched every single episode. And I mean, it is really competitive.
Yes.
It is really intense. These are lifelong ambitions for so many ladies, not just who grow up in the state of Texas. I think it's another level if you're there, and it's just kind of in the blood of, from when you're that little, you're wearing the uniforms and dreaming about growing up to have that experience.
Yes.
But it is really an intense and crushing experience when they get cut. I mean, I'm at home watching and tearing up when they're good. It's terrible.
You have your favorites, and you want them to go, make it all the way through. And one thing I didn't know was when you make it to training camp, that is not a guarantee.
Right.
So I think there were 42 girls, and then they cut it down to 32. So 10 girls get to put the uniform on, have their picture taken, and then they don't make it. So you've seen that on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, and it is crushing. But if they made it that far, they do encourage them to try out again. So hopefully they do and come back and persevere, the next season.
What do you remember about that time in your life?
I remember being really scared. And it was funny because I have a ballet background. So I was kind of known as the ballerina on the squad. So I had to sort of change my dance style and get a little stronger and a little more, jazzy. So I think I was very intimidated by the veterans because I was a rookie. But I learned so much about myself and about the institution of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. And it's just the way they strive for excellence is it's something that every business model should really, aspire to. It's really pretty amazing.
Well, and it goes beyond just knowing the routines and being out there and obviously being gorgeous. They wear makeup and they look perfect even at practice, which is wild to me. I mean, have you ever seen me come out of an exercise class? Some people have the hair and the look that they can come out of hot yoga and they look good. And I'm like a rat that just rolled out of a sewer. And I'm looking at, how do these people pull this off? So they all look good all the time. So it's just a different universe of things. But it's also accountability everywhere they are. There's a lot of rules to follow because you're a representative of the ideals of, it's sort of like being a Miss America.
It is.
Right?
It is. There's definitely restrictions and rules you have to follow. And they set that out very clearly when you first are selected. So, yeah, so you can't have your picture taken with anyone that has alcohol. Can't take the football players, of course. So a lot of rules as far as that. And also your appearance. Which I didn't know. If you have a side ponytail, that's going to be your signature look. They don't want you to change that. Or your makeup a certain way. So that to me was interesting because I think they choose the girls for individuality. So they want you to be recognizable to the fans in a way.
Because this was the days of, there was even a Love Boat episode, and there was, this was
It was
where
coming off that.
they were everywhere,
Yes.
and kind of peak fascination.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really fun because it's also has had this resurgence. A lot of us have watched. A new generation of people have gotten
And I love
insight
that.
into it because of Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get to get this insight again in a different way in this book, The Cheerleader.
Yes.
And so it is just kind of all lined up to be a perfect setting for a fantastic story. So set up the story for us just a little bit, and then I want to kind of dive into, at what point did you realize I've got a great background for a really killer story? Killer, pardon the pun.
So the premise is it's a high gloss, fast paced thriller. It just puts you right into the world of the Dallas Lonestars Cheerleaders. So of course, fictional football team, and they're the epitome of glitz and glam. And they seem to have it all, especially a really strong sisterhood. But everything changes when the star cheerleader is found murdered in the squad's locker room on a game day. Messy. So think Agatha Christie if Christie had season tickets to NFL football.
If she wrote short shorts and big
Right.
hair, yeah.
If she lived today. Yeah. So, I wanted to incorporate, a lot of, deceit, betrayal, scandal, secrets. And then there's an element of true crime because one of the characters is making sort of a true crime series on the side. So that's a fun aspect, too. That seems modern.
So it's a very obviously female-forward storytelling because we've got our main character that we're all talking about because she was sort of the star of the squad, and she's the one that has been found murdered. We've got our other cheerleader who was her bestie, but also her mentee, and also somebody who was kind of like, pretty jealous of her right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Living in her shadow just a bit.
Yes. Yes. There's toxic friendship as another theme.
Yeah.
It's a pack full of different themes.
And we don't want to necessarily say that, of course, all female friendships are not like this.
No.
But these are the circumstances where they are creating an environment naturally where when everybody is supposed to be so perfect,
Yes.
and everybody is being judged all the time on the expectations, and they're getting better spots than the other, that it does set this sort of dynamic up, right?
It does. Yeah, it really explores the idea of competition and the hierarchy of the rookies and the veterans in the squad. I think that's definitely an underlying theme, and also the expectations on women today to be perfect, like you mentioned. I call it compare and despair because you see someone on social media, why don't I look like that? And then of course the cheerleaders have to be perfect all the time. But again, everyone was selected for their individuality, so beauty looks different on everybody. So I hope that kind of comes through in the book when you read the book.
Our main cheerleader who we're following, she's having some struggles, right?
Yeah.
She's having some struggles. She was very reminiscent of some of the gals, or at least one of them that we follow in the Netflix show.
Yes.
So she is the daughter of a former cheerleader, so she's a legacy. And so was that something that you did you cheer alongside women whose mom had been?
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
pretty common, I guess, right? These
It
legacies.
happens. Yeah.
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 And that builds in a whole other level of pressure.
It does.
Okay.
It does. And I think in the book, I wanted it to be where the daughter is sort of just doing it for her mom. I mean, it usually is every girl's dream to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, but she didn't have that dream. She just did it for her mother. So I did know someone like that, and I thought that made kind of fun to explore.
I will say it didn't feel like there were really great moms referred to in this book. We were much softer with the dads.
That's true. No, and for no particular reason.
We don't want to have a heart-to-heart reveal anything right now? Okay.
No. My mom's here, and I love her.
Mom, we're not taking this personally in any way, right? Okay. Because we do have two female characters who have very wonderful fathers.
Yes.
Very sensitive fathers.
Yes.
Very,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, and it's the importance of family. I think, I really like that theme too. So
Okay, so lay out a bit of the mystery and who the players are for those in the room and those who are listening at home who are going to want to read The Cheerleader, because it does, and I want to compliment you on the pacing and also the elements of the way that you break up the story, because I very much enjoy when we get an Instagram post to break it up, or a text message or whatever. So I really enjoyed the pace and how we kind of bounce back and forth between the main two narrators who are giving us the story.
Yes, thank you. The first draft I wrote of the story had like about 10 characters in it. And it had the coach's perspective and the football players, and my agent's like, let's narrow it down to the two female protagonists. So we meet Nikki Keegan. She's a ambitious documentarian. She's been hired to film kind of the comeback of the Dallas Lone Stars after 4 disastrous seasons. And when the star cheerleader gets murdered, she kind of sees an opportunity to sort of insert herself in an unauthorized way into the investigation. And then she tries to make a true crime series on the side.
I love that about her, because that's something that I would be like, well, obviously this is more interesting over here.
Yeah, so she thinks,
well, let me work on this. And also she's got this assignment and it's a good money gig, and so she's got to do it. And she knows nothing about sports.
Right.
So that would be,
the natural interest.
Yes, right? She likes that, and she's on this. She's going to do this job well, but she really doesn't even know anything about football.
Exactly. Yeah. So she is perfectly placed to jump right in there. And then she teams up with Shaunette Simmons, who is a rookie Dallas Lonestars cheerleader. And Shaunette was, as you mentioned, the best friends with the deceased cheerleader, but they had a terrible falling out right before the murder happened. So as Shaunette and Nikki team up, the truth just kind of gets further and further away from them. And then Nikki realizes that the murdered cheerleader wasn't as squeaky clean as everybody thought, and that Shaunette is hiding something. So she has her radar up.
And we're suspicious of a lot of people. As you know, a good thriller will make us feel, right? We never truly know who to trust, and we love that. So, so this was, and I'm sure that these cheering years of yours were 5 or 6 years ago, is what I'm thinking. Between then and now, you
I have to laugh at that.
You had been in English and writing, creative writing major in college, and so obviously you had always had an intention of writing. Between then and now, had you done a zillion drafts of different books? Had you sat down to do this? Was it always a version of this, or?
No, when I first started writing I was staying home with my daughters, and when they would nap or go to school, I just started dabbling. And I wrote a Western historical romance that was so terrible that honestly, it's embarrassing. It's still under my bed. But then I did get published in romance under a different pen name.
Okay.
And that was when ebooks first came out. And I don't know if a lot of publishers knew how to market them. So I always say the 9 people who read those books really liked them, because they did not have a big readership at all. But then I thought to myself, I like to read thrillers and mysteries more than romance. So I switched genres. my agent dropped me. I had to find a new agent. And she did shop around a domestic thriller for me. It almost sold, but it didn't. So I kind of thought, what am I going to write now? And she had the idea of the cheerleader. She heard in a roundabout way that I used to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And she said, that would be cool if you set a mystery in the world of pro sports. And then I wanted to elevate that a little bit higher and just, kind of add a body count. Because I thought, that true crime I love, and then thrillers. So that's how the idea was born.
It's amazing, and it's right what you know, and we love the idea of getting inside and like sneak behind the curtain of something, especially something prestigious that we know of, but we really don't have access to or know enough about.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, because the storyline's fictional, but it is a nod to, they say, Texas cheer royalty, which are the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. So, yeah.
So as you were working on this, obviously it's you're changing all of the names of, like, let's go through. I mean, was it when you first started? Did you just, of course, write Dallas Cowboys and the regular names, and then go back and switch everything, or it's the FFL instead of the NFL?
Right. Yes.
So that must have. So did you go back and do all of that? How did that all go? Is that
as I remember, I think my agent said, for legality reasons, let's just completely change, the names of the league and the teams. So I think I started off with trying to dream up what would be a good name instead of the Dallas Cowboys. So, I just. And it kind of helped me just envision that fictional team in the world. Yeah.
And as this was all kind of coming up for you, did it cause you to reconnect and really sort of relive some of these old memories more so? Because I imagine it's like back in the closet of your
It's been a while.
Right?
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Yeah, it did bring back a lot of memories. And I really wanted to put the reader in what it was like to audition and put the uniform on, have your picture taken, practice on the field. So I wanted that authenticity to shine through. And then I just went back in October for the alumni performance. And I reconnected with 5 or 6 of my teammates. And it was really funny because they said, we thought you were dead.
What?
I mean, it was a joke, but I hadn't really kept in
A
contact.
bloody death? Murdered?
But I was kind of bad about keeping in contact because I moved back to Arizona after I graduated and just lost contact over the years. Whereas a lot of the cheerleaders are living in Dallas. They still see each other. But that was amazing. That was so fun to reconnect and to do that and be on the field again. Yeah, it was great.
That's amazing. So you got to go back. You got to do a Dallas book tour is what you really need to
That would be fun.
Right?
Yeah, I think they have me booked at the Texas Book Festival in November.
Oh,
so
good.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you might have to wear. Well, you don't get to keep the uniform, do you?
No, you turn them in at the end.
I saw that on the show. I learned that from Netflix too. Gosh, that's a heartbreaking moment.
But I would bet money I don't fit into it anymore.
That was it's a very small little
It's
thing.
very small.
Yeah, the shorts are very small.
It's itty bitty.
So writing a book is a very daunting task, right? Or was it free flowing for you? Talk to me about the style of how your approach was, how easy or difficult the experience was. I mean, I think it's for everybody who loves books, and this is my favorite genre to read. And for all of us who really love them, I think we all dream of doing it, and it seems like an absolutely terrifying, out-of-reach experience. So what was it really like for you?
I think because my writing journey has been so long that I really, after my agent dropped me and I changed genres, I thought, I really need to go back to the drawing board and study the craft of, story structure and plot points and black moments. And so I was really, really feeling good about that when I wrote this book. And I think the subject matter helped me because it was familiar. So I think everything sort of came together and it was fun. And it's a lighthearted book, but it does have some good messages. So I really, really enjoyed writing the book.
What was the time frame, would you say?
I think because my first draft involved those 10 characters, and my agent's like, we need to rewrite this. It took me about a year to do the second draft.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess about a year total, first and second draft.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the whole business aspect of it. And we hear so much about, the people choosing to self-publish and go, so many different ways to go now and so many different options. And then you hear, about very successful books being rejected 40 times and, just wild stories. And of course, everything is so subjective. And, I was just actually on my Facebook group today, which is on my book club page. And one of a woman I commonly feel like very similar about books with was saying she's thinking about not finishing a book that was my favorite book of the entire year last year.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, what? So, I mean, it's a reminder of how we all feel so differently about every single thing that we approach, right?
Yes.
So, how then was the process of shopping it around and this whole thing? Because it's
I know. That's been a dream to be in hardcover for me. I just can't even believe it. I look at it and I'm so excited and so grateful.
So fancy.
Yeah. I think because the Netflix show, the timing really
timing
was
is
in my
really
favor.
good.
Yeah. And it was the hook for the book was that a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader wrote, and I think that's what your post was today. So that was great. That was in my favor. But the business of writing for an aspiring author is very challenging. I mean, I think the statistic today is 1 in 5,000 writers will get an agent. So had I known that back then, I don't know if I would have been discouraged. Yeah. But it's...
I'm not great at math, but that doesn't seem very
Yeah, it's a little tough to do, but and self-publishing is such a viable, valid way to get published today. But we sold the book pretty fast. There's a UK edition, and they have a different cover and a different title, which is really interesting. That's been a bit confusing, but it's the same book if you pick up the either edition.
And what is it called?
That's called Death of a Cheerleader. And it has a pink cover. But, it sold pretty fast. And I think they wanted to get it out pretty fast because of the Netflix show. And they timed this sort of around the Super Bowl, which I thought was really smart, too, in the U.S. Yeah. So it's cool to learn about the business of publishing as an author. And any aspiring author, I mean, go for it. Don't get discouraged. Write what's familiar. Write what you're passionate about. And I think your voice will always come through on the page. So keep at it.
So what happens next? Are you working on another story now?
We are. Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to propose a figure skating sports thriller next.
Oh.
Because of the popularity of Heated Rivalry. I know my kids love that show. And the Olympics. So my sister was a competitive figure skater. And I would go to all of her meets. I mean, I know that world pretty well. So I think that's what we're going to try next.
Oh,
yeah.
very
So we'll see. Fingers
smart.
crossed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So, and it's funny because there's people take a break and people have different, patterns in their life and different seasons of their lives. And you sort of stayed home with your daughters, and you're in these moments where we're accruing information, right? I mean, we're living lives and we're learning. And I just always think, especially for this profession and this craft, that time is really building.
Yes.
I mean, there are very few professions that you would say, gosh, you're probably maybe going to be better later. You're not going to be better at ice skating later, figure skating later. But of storytelling in many ways. The more life you've lived, the more things you've seen, the more people you've been with, talked to, seen, observed, lives you've seen grow. The better storyteller you're going to be. So it's exciting to see what is to come.
It is. That's such a truism. I think, people ask you, where do you get your ideas from? But you could be listening to people in a coffee shop or drawing on any life experience that you have. And of course, the older you get, you can look at things a little differently too. So I think all that comes into play with writing. It is. It's just something that, I need to do. It's just it's in me. So I really love it. And I'm glad that my journey was so long in a way, because when I did get published, I'm so grateful, because I saw how hard it was, for myself, but not just myself, but other authors, that have had long journeys. And I'm here to tell you it can happen.
When you opened up the box and you saw this and you had it in your hands for the first time, did you bust out a cheer? Did an actual Cowboys cheerleader cheer come to mind? And then you started, was that just naturally came out? Or was it something a little more chill of a reaction?
I think my mental 21-year-old self did a backflip. Not
was
a
there
real
a kick
one.
line, but there was just nobody next to you?
No.
Yeah.
But
okay.
there's some screaming.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
Very, very excited.
And I'm always curious. So everybody seems to have such a different strategy and obviously different habits of where do you like to write? What time of day do you like to write? I like to know what people eat, and what kind of environment. Many people have everything mapped out.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly where their story's going, and then it's just about connecting the dots.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say they sit down and they don't know where the hell anything's going, and what their characters are going to do, and they say this character is telling me what's going on, and I'm like, okay. So how did it play out for you? And how do you, I'm a particularly terrible time manager, so I'm always curious how people carve out the time to be creative.
Yes. My process is really, I kind of know the beginning of the book and the end of the book.
Okay.
And so that's I don't know if I would really be a pantser or a plotter, because I do have to fill the middle in. But I do write in the morning is my best time. I feel like I'm clear-headed. My eyesight isn't the greatest at night, so I used to stay up and write, but I can't really do that anymore. So yeah, I think the mornings are creative, and I don't really say a word count. I know a lot of authors say I have to get 5,000 words in a day, but I don't really put that pressure on myself, because sometimes the writing flows and you do keep going, and other days you're like, it's just not happening. So I think it's good to give yourself that leeway a little bit. But it does take discipline. You have to get yourself in the chair. I write at my desk. I find that if I write on the couch, I get really sleepy. So I don't do that. But I think Stephen King famously said, have a place where you can close the door.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important, to have your little safe, quiet place to write and be creative.
And that okay, I'm going in here for this.
This is it.
At least for a certain amount of time,
Yes.
or just to see what happens.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, when you were thinking about these stories and these women, did anything come of their personalities that ended up surprising you? Or when you revisit the stories and the characters, do you see little bits and pieces of people that you really know? Who, you could be like, oh my gosh, this really, I know, that they're kind of a little medley montage of her and her and her and her.
I really didn't pattern it after anybody I knew.
Okay.
I think what's fun for me as an author is giving a character an attribute that I don't have. Nikki's very bold. She's brave, and she is not afraid to insert herself into the investigation. And I don't think I would be that way. So that's me living through my characters. But yeah, nobody in particular. Yeah.
Yeah, Nikki is.
I think everyone likes her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
She is. She is very brave, and she is. You're rooting for her for sure.
Right. And then Shaunette's character arc, I think, is interesting, because she is cheering just for her mom, but she has to learn to stand up for her mom. And but I think hopefully at some point you're suspecting both of them, because they just both are. They don't really like each other at first, and I think they're both hiding secrets, so that's fun.
Yeah, and they're both on a journey.
Yes,
right. And there are men in the book too, you guys. There are men.
Right, yeah.
A variety of men.
There are
football players, owners.
Yes, the fathers,
dads.
Yep. And they have some good
camera guys.
characters.
Yes, some good guys, some bad guys.
Right. Yep. You got to throw all that in there.
All types of guys.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And I do have some male readership. It's interesting that they, some people are from Texas and they're interested in the Texan culture or just fans of the Cowboys. And so that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any, the people, Cowboys fans are other level.
They are
right?
other level.
So this is a fantastic opportunity
Mhm.
and then maybe possibly like a super scary potential.
Yes. Yes.
So you've got, so it's, they're going to be opinionated.
Yes. Yes. The Cowboys have the biggest global fan base of any team, whether they're winning or not.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the glory days that they just really represented America's team. And it's funny with my UK publisher, like that's the team that they all talk about. Like they just know the Dallas Cowboys. Like not that they don't know other teams, but I think that there's a fascination with it. So, but yeah, it is kind of daunting because it's such a huge enterprise, and you don't want to make anybody mad.
But it's great. It's brilliant because it is. Yeah. It's delivering a story about something that people already are interested in, and then an interesting story on top of that to boot. So it's just great. Give me a little. What kind of surprising tidbit can you tell us about the cheering, getting ready, something crazy you have to do to make the uniform work and stay on? Something that we would be like, what? Oh my gosh.
Well, a little fun insider tip is I cheered with, if you watch the Netflix show, Kelly Finglass is the director of the cheerleaders. She was on my squad the year. So I know her.
Was she so scary or was she nice?
She was great.
Yeah.
But they always picked her to be the spokesperson because she was very savvy. She was well-spoken, and she had that business sense even then. So I can absolutely see why she's the cheerleaders director now. And when you watch the show, they call it the Kelly knot because you knot the crop top around your bra.
Yeah.
And it kind of lifts up your everything. And so but they coined it for her, but we did that back then. So it's just a little trick that the cheerleaders do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full circle. We've got to get her to buy this book for every single member of the squad. Come on now, right?
Woo-hoo.
Let's make a call. Right? Come on, Kelly. Come on.
Free copies for everybody.
Do we want to take questions from our
Yes,
friends
I would love
here?
it.
Questions?
Anybody have any questions?
I know you do. Come
Anybody?
on. Yes. Yes, please.
So why did you think this particular story had to be told from multiple points of view? And why do you like that style of writing?
I really liked that there were two female protagonists in it because I think they're in such different places in their life and they want different things. So, and they sort of play off of each other. And then they form a friendship, an unlikely friendship. So I think that's really true in life. Sometimes you meet somebody that you don't have anything in common with at first, but then something, either a tragedy or some event brings you together. And then they start working together. So that was really fun to explore. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
The book that you said almost sold, are you self-publishing that? Or is it just...
It's kind of on the back burner. I still really like that book, and my agent does too. And I think the problem with it was kind of the era, if you can call it, of the unreliable narrator, which got oversaturated, like The Girl on the Train, Gone Girl, all those domestic thrillers. And I think I wrote it a little too late to get in on the tail end of that. So maybe someday I would self-publish it. Yeah, that's a good question because I still really like it, so maybe.
Well, I hope you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Hi. My daughter, she's 14, and she's a cheerleader too. In fact, her team went to nationals last year, and they came first place.
Wow.
And they just got announced to go to nationals again this year in July.
Fantastic.
And, would you have any advice for a 14-year-old girl?
Yeah, I think, I think just enjoy it. If she gets a little older and she still loves it, then if she maybe want to try out for a professional team, or is that kind of a dream of hers? Yeah.
She's really small, and so she's
Okay.
kind of afraid to try out for her school.
Mm-hmm.
At least on her team now, there's
Yeah.
She's afraid of being a flyer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And do you want her to be a flyer? It sounds kind of scary. Yeah.
Race right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Really enjoys it. And she's been doing it for a few years now.
That's fantastic. To win nationals is incredible. Wow. Good for her. Well, tell her this for me because I tried out for my high school cheer team and I didn't make it. So there's hope for everybody.
Did you send an autograph picture, I hope, from the Dallas
should.
Cowboys cheerleaders to the high school? Best regards.
I should. So your girl's way ahead of me, and she should be very proud of herself. That's incredible. Yeah, that's great. Good for her.
Tell her to stretch a lot. For the long
Stretch
term,
a lot,
probably, right?
yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, and she's gonna grow. Does she want to get taller, or is she? No. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, she's probably amazing. Oh, tell her I said hi.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, Gianna.
Okay, when you write a mystery or murder story or whodunit, do you figure out whodunit before you start writing it, or do you figure out your process as you go along and figure out who the best person to reveal it to be?
That's a really good question. I think I usually know the person, but sometimes it does change because you have to give your murderer a motivation and it all has to be plausible. So sometimes if your plot changes, motivations of your characters change. But I would say typically I do know who the person is. Yeah, it's a good question. You're welcome. Molly? There is an audiobook now, and everyone really likes it.
It's very good.
Have you listened to it? Okay, yeah, I like the narrator a lot. So the good feedback on that. So yeah, it's available. Yeah.
Can you talk about what it was like to work with two separate publishing houses to come to the same final product, and then also what it was like specifically working with one in the UK about something that's so ingrained in American culture, even though they may know about it a little bit, probably not as much as in the US?
Yeah, that was that was a learning curve for me because I wasn't sure how it was going to work. So it did release first in the UK. So the UK publisher, the editor, was the one that I worked with for the manuscript. And I think I was talking to someone about this. I wasn't sure if she was going to get my American lingo because she's British. But she said, no, we want that American version of, the story. So she kept everything the same pretty much. And but at the same time, I got to work with her on the cover and the U.S. version at the same time. So I sort of knew what the books were going to look like when they were going to release. And then it made it easier to know that one manuscript is the book for both.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Is there an explanation sort of why that cover would be more appealing there and this would be, because that looks more like a kind of a rom-com or sort of chick lit cover.
Yeah. That was her idea. I don't know. She asked me, and I kind of like the idea of that to be totally different, maybe for maybe a different audience. But I agree, it is a different feel than the U.S. version. Yeah, and I think people are torn. They half like that cover and half like the U.S.
Maybe it just goes by research of sales of
it could be
hot pink covers are selling well at that time there.
Yeah,
or something.
more eye catching.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cover of the UK version, her uniform very much was like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and I said, I think we need to change it a little bit. So we made the boots blue, and then her skirt is kind of angled and not short. So it's similar enough, I think, but different enough too. Yeah. Any other questions?
There are a couple that have come online
Okay.
for you. And one of them is, I just lost it. Give me a second here. Well, I'm trying to find, okay. It says, is the author still a football fan? And who does she think will win the Super Bowl?
Oh, good
Oh,
one.
good one.
And will the Cowboys ever find themselves in the Super Bowl ever again? Go on record with a statement on
I
that.
hope so.
If you dare.
I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl. What do y'all think? Yeah. Yeah, some Seahawks fans. I think they're incredible this year. So that's my pick. We'll see.
Now, and were you a football fan originally?
I would say yes. I think of all the sports, that's the one that I would sit down and watch, would be football. So, but you have to take a written test. We used to as a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. So I had to learn more about it. I had to study, plays and rules. And so, yes, you have to be very educated about it.
Okay. So if they didn't know beforehand, they learned
Yes.
it. They learned it.
You better learn it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Other question was about some of the mystery conferences that we have every year, like Left Coast Crime. Do you have plans to go to any of those?
I was thinking maybe Thriller Fest, and I think that's in June or July. So I may do an appearance there. I'll have
Gotcha.
to schedule it. Yeah.
I have some questions about Olivia Fierro's first book. And when is this going to appear?
It will need to be probably like a 4-page children's book. That'll be like max out my brain capacity, and then I'll be like, okay, I got that first book done. Pressure's off. Now I can really start writing. But maybe someday. That's
We'd
the
love to
thing.
see that.
It's too daunting.
I think you just have to know that your first draft's going to be bad. Like,
Yeah,
just say,
that's
I
the
can
thing.
just be okay with that.
Right.
And then you go back in.
It's really funny. So in the last year, I have just learned to cook. And so my son said something to the effect of like, oh, now that my mom finally can make some good things, whatever. And I'm laughing. He says, well, Mom, that was a jab, basically. So I was saying you couldn't cook before. And it's not a jab because I knew I couldn't cook before. And now you're saying I can, so it's fine. So I guess basically it's like the first one's terrible. And then you go, so I just have to get it over with. So I have to come with the same approach,
That's
which
right.
is start out bad, maybe. I don't know. I need a draft of something that I can put under the bed, and then I can move
That's
on.
right. That's your one you
I need
refer
something under
to.
the bed.
There's
I'm
got to
working
be
on
a
it.
sordid underbelly of broadcast journalism. I'm sure you know where some of the bodies are buried, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Does everyone know that Olivia is an Emmy-winning force of nature in media, and you're an advocate for storytelling? So I just love you.
I
It is.
Thank
It really
you.
does.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now I read a lot. Maybe someday I'll do something else. But it has been very fun to be able to celebrate other people's talents.
Fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. It's been very exciting. Any other questions? Tony, I thought you had a question in the back. No, you did a fantastic job. That's my husband. I just wanted to make him feel uncomfortable. Anybody else? As you are now able to share this book with everyone, really like the original job, the excitement of the cheerleaders, like you learned how to be like a showman, and
You
so now this is also something that comes into play because it really is. I mean, we see how many books are on the shelf, so you do have a job to do of trying to get your book to stand out. So
That's right. And it comes in handy to know, everything you learned about being a performer or, you just draw on that. And if you don't put yourself out there, then nothing's going to happen. So there's a saying in the DCC, tomorrow's never promised, so leave it all on the dance floor. And it sounds kind of corny, but it's really a good way to live,
it is.
Yeah.
I love that.
Write your book.
There we go. I love it. Just go shake your pom-poms, right? Last chance. Anybody have a question? I wish we had your pictures because your pictures were fabulous too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did bring my calendar. If anyone wants to see it.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And we're talking 80s hair and,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
all of that.
Okay. And oh my gosh, come on now. Come on. Should I bring this up close to the I feel like I gotta walk this through hold on.
Show and tell at school.
Wow, look at this. So what was the official hairspray brand of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders in 1987?
Well,
do you remember?
Aquanet was used a lot. So.
Aquanet? Yeah, that seems like it would be. You're right. Oh my gosh. Look at the redhead. Look. That was so. Did anybody try to murder you when you were picked for the cover? Did you need like a bodyguard or anything? There was nothing
No.
vicious happening.
No, I mean, a few weirdos would come around, I guess, but
Sure, right?
fans,
I
super
mean,
fans. But
Just local news. Just in local news, we'd have some weirdos come around. So I'm sure.
I'm
sure
sure.
with all of this, you had some weirdos coming around. But then, so when you're waiting to find out who's getting like the cover of the calendar, I know that there's got to be some.
it was really funny because I didn't know. I had a call when I had moved back to Phoenix. One of my girlfriends called and said, "You know what? I was in the airport. Did you know you're on the cover of the Dallas Lonestars Cheerleader calendar?" And I didn't know. But
No.
today, they do it a lot differently today if you watch the show. It's kind of a big announcement.
Yeah.
But it's past the season. So if you're not on the squad anymore, you're not really involved in the day-to-day. But yeah, that's how I learned.
Oh, because when this comes out, you're already done.
Right. Right.
Wow.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Yeah. So I was a cheerleader in 85, and that's the 86, 87 calendar.
87? Oh
Mhm.
my gosh.
So it's always a year behind that you're a cheerleader.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you still
Mhm.
still do some of the moves?
I had to at the alumni performance.
Really?
And I was like, this choreography is pretty hard for us old girls. But I managed, I guess.
Yeah.
I kept up. But it's, not
Did-
my 20s anymore.
Didn't pull a hamstring.
No.
Okay.
No.
And then it's all good.
Unscathed, yeah.
You've still got it. And to the best of your knowledge, there was no fraternization.
To the best of my knowledge,
Okay.
I take an oath. No, I'm just kidding. No, there it really was very frowned upon. So
Yeah.
they did keep you separate from the players.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And no tattoos.
No tattoos that are visible in the uniform.
Mhm.
So I know that many more people today have tattoos than when I was a cheerleader. So I think that's still the rule. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it's fun.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I mean, that's quite a resume. Calendar cover girl and published author. Boom, boom. Book signing time.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for being here.
You gotta
Thanks
get
so
them to
much.
republish that. What if you could get like a mini version republished? Really? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Amazing.
So if you guys wouldn't mind folding up your chairs and just putting them against this wall, that would be really helpful. Thank you so much.
Good, amazing. Thank you so much.